Today, I'm sharing my top 5 interior design tips for creating the perfect home office setup. Whether you're working from home full-time like myself, or you just need the occasional dedicated workspace, these tips will help create an office space you will love spending time in. I love being here. This is my second home within my first home. The thing is, a well-designed home office can make working from home a lot more pleasant, but also productive. Your home office is more than just a room with a desk in it. And that's how a lot of people approach home offices. The thing is, you want to create a space that's conducive to proper work so you can work smart and not too hard. I spent a lot of time perusing Architectural Digest for inspiration for this video, but the thing is, all I saw were just offices that were either plain and white or really eccentric, pretty cool, but also probably well above most of our budgets. I know mine. So here are my top 5 interior design tips for creating your perfect home office. And these are tips that are actually pretty reasonable to do. Nothing too crazy here. Number 1 is choose a dedicated space. Now this may seem obvious, but it's very, very important. You want to make sure you pick a spot in your home that you can dedicate exclusively to being your office. You could go the multi-purpose route. I've seen people have a guest futon that folds out in their office in a pinch if they have a friend staying over, but 99% of the time that space is used for work. If at all possible, keep your office away from household noise. If you have a door that you can close, that's great. I just have a curtain, but that's cool with me because I'm in the basement, so I got a lot of my own space to work with. One of the most obvious choices for a home office is a spare bedroom. If you have a spare bedroom that you're not using, that's a great space because it's closed off, it's sectioned off, and also a basement area works fantastically. I have a basement that we designed knowing that this would be my workspace. This is more than just my home office though, this is also my studio space. And we kind of put that all together mentally before we built it. This is where I do all my work, my recording, my editing, all the good stuff. Now this designated space needs some essentials. You gotta have a work desk, a nice workstation, some storage furniture is great, seating for people that want to hang out with you while you're working. Maybe when you're taking a break, you can sit on a beautiful big beanbag like I have in that corner over there. The more space you have in your office as well, the more comfortable you will feel while working. You don't want to cram a ton of stuff and then you just feel claustrophobic. The more space you can give yourself, the better. Number 2, bring in plenty of natural light when possible. In a basement, it's a little harder. Like I only have those small windows in the back. You can see the light kind of shining in. But in my office space, I have synthetic light. So I have my big lights illuminating me, which is nearly as good, but not a direct replacement for real windows. If you have windows, open those blinds. Consider additional lighting as well, like floor lamps and overhead fixtures. Any exposure you can get to natural light helps set your circadian rhythm and it boosts productivity. And I just feel that improves your mood. If you're on a standard, typical schedule where you're up during the day and you sleep at night, having those windows open, seeing the sun rise and set, and then going to bed after that, it'll help keep everything nice and regulated. If possible, choose an office space with windows on multiple walls to really maximize all that natural light coming in. And again, if you don't have windowless spaces or you have very small windows like myself, then you can go with some full spectrum lighting as a great solution. You can get lights that can adjust their color temperature to sort of synthesize what natural light would look like. That's a good idea too. But one of the big reasons that I chose a windowless space for this immediate area is because this is where I record my videos. And I would much rather have predictable light in the form of these giant light fixtures that I've installed that I can control versus real light, which is beautiful, but also unpredictable. Some days might be more sunny than others, and then I got to adjust everything, and you might have a cloud come in, and then all of a sudden I'm in the dark. These lights, they're always bright. Number 3 is pick space-saving furniture. Opt for a smaller desk when you can. A desk with built-in storage is great. You can also get a wall-mounted desk to save floor space. I've seen a lot of YouTubers show these big, massive desks that they have, which is nice because you have a lot of room to sort of play with. But unless you're doing drafting or actually utilizing a ton of that space, what I find ends up happening is you just put more stuff on your desk. You create more clutter. But by having a more neat, tidy setup, you're forced to sort of keep it neat. But that's based on my experience. You can also go with a small bookshelf. You can use under-desk organizers. A slim filing cabinet would be great. There's also a ton of multi-purpose furniture you can get at places like IKEA that can kind of do a lot of things in one neat little package. But I can say from experience, if you have the option to get additional storage, you take it because you'll need it. And the more storage options you have, the less clutter your office will feel, which means your brain won't be cluttered either. Just be careful not to overcrowd your space. Leave at least some open area for that relaxed, spacious feel that is oh so desirable. comfortable. Number 4, include ergonomic seating. I can't tell you how important a good, comfortable, adjustable chair is. It'll help ensure you have good posture, you won't strain your back or your neck. You might be spending more time in this chair than you are in your own bed. So you want to make sure you invest in something that has good lumbar support, adjustable armrests, and the ability to change the seat height at the very least. You may also want to consider something like an exercise ball or one of those cool kneeling chairs for added flexibility and movement while you're working. That's one of the most important things I find, is being able to physically engage your body while you're working rather than being static or even slouched in like a big overly cushiony chair that maybe looks comfortable but not when you're in it for 12 hours. At the end of the day, the more adjustable and supportive your seating, the less discomfort you will experience, which means you won't be as distracted while working. Now, I did go through a bit of a standing desk phase, and I want to touch on this. It just wasn't for me. I love the concept of a standing desk, but in order to use it optimally, you should be fluctuating between standing and sitting constantly throughout the day, which just ended up being another thing that I had to keep track of and think of, which is a little counterintuitive in a space where I'm trying to be as productive and focused as possible. For me, I just made sure I got a solid chair. It's not even really that expensive. It's like an Amazon version of a really expensive chair. And then I attached my screen to an arm onto the wall just to put it at a very comfortable viewing angle. And then I just made sure to take breaks and get out of my seat from time to time. It also turns out that non-standing desks, like a regular old desk, more affordable. Who knew? Number 5 is add decorative touches. Love it. Personality, you're adding color, all those little fun knickknacks that just make your space yours. This can even include art, plants, accent lighting, anything that really inspires you. Make your office space a place you will enjoy working in. Try and keep things relatively minimal. You don't have to flood the space, but do try and personalize the area to suit your tastes. I feel like decorations do two things. They can either make your space feel more comfortable and cozy, or they can also be inspirational and creativity inducing. You can also go with things like candles, rugs, throw blankets. Keep in mind, this is your workspace, right? So find a balance between something that is stimulating yet serene. A place that you want to be in, but also be willing to be productive in and work in. I've seen some awesome examples online of some very fun and exciting colors and designs that were being used for offices, but oftentimes all that fun stuff is actually behind the person at the desk. And this may seem silly because wouldn't you want to be looking at all that really cool stuff you've added to your space? Maybe not. I think it's cool to see it as you enter your office, maybe the odd time you turn around during a break. But during work mode, I'm the type of person that wants to limit my distractions as much as possible as I enter that flow state that we all strive to do. Creating a functional and well-designed office space in your home can help you stay productive, and it can also make working from home a much more enjoyable experience. And I think that's the goal here. With some time and effort finding the right furniture and decor, you will have an office to be proud of. I guarantee it. I got mine.